Just in case and more is better are two sentences that cost you a lot of money when we speak about photography. Hi, I'm Gibaud and we're going to speak about this. Well, honestly, this is an intelligent or clever way of thinking to think that we need maybe a bit more one day, a bit something or more than we have. But in photography, when you think this way, you think about an imaginary photographer that is not exactly what you're doing. And you end up paying money for technology you don't actually need. Sometimes it's the other way around. You don't spend enough for what you need, and the result, that money is lost because you should have got something better. So the reality is, the question is not what is the best camera. The question is, what is the best camera for you? So today I want to speak about this, help you decide what is the camera for you, and see that in details. So let's start. Actually, this is something I already spoke about in other videos, but my last video about the evolution of gear in the World Cup, FIFA World Cup, made some people comment like, yes, but nowadays you need the best gear to be able to make good pictures. This is something we need to speak about. The most common mistake is buying capabilities you don't actually need. You will never use them. Technology you don't need. And I see people like, they see these dream cameras at the World Cup or Olympics game. And for example, you dream of a Canon R3 or Canon R1. This is impressive. You've seen some reviews on YouTube. The autofocus is incredible, recognizing people or a basketball player. Just track one all the time without losing him among other 10 players. This is incredible. They shoot incredible frame rates, really, really incredible. So you make a massive effort, you buy the camera, and then with it, you're going to do portrait photography, landscape photography, travel and family photography. The question is, when are you going to make picture of this basketball player running like mad among 10 people? Probably never. So what have you done? You've just bought technology you don't need. Is this camera bad? No, this is an exceptional camera. This is a fantastic camera, but well, you don't actually need it. That's the problem. It's too exceptional for what you actually need. And this happens all the time. Buying cameras that are well over the top compared to what you actually need. Another example, the Leica M. Many people, they just dream of a Leica. They see the design, they see its history, its philosophy, its lenses, and they feel like, wow, this is what I actually need. So they just get a mortgage on one of the kidney and they buy it. And then after they want to do sport photography or their kid running around and action, this camera is not made for that. Is it a bad camera? No, it is a fantastic camera, but not for this. So really, this is when you actually realize they spend money on some things they don't actually need and that will not even cover what they need. Or they will be well over the top or just on the side. But I don't want to fall into the typical video that says you don't need the top cameras, because that's not true. The opposite mistakes also exist. You don't want to spend too much money, or you cannot spend too much money, so you buy an entry-level camera and you go to a motocross race. There's a lot of dust, it gets into the camera, damages the body, all this. And yeah, that camera was not for that. Or you go to the tropical jungle in Colombia or Brazil or Indonesia, it's 95% humidity. And sooner or later, the camera will die because of this. The humidity will get in there, condensation, and it will damage it. And in this situation, the money you spent on this camera is lost because most likely the guarantee will not cover because they will see there's water in there or dust in there, it will not cover it. So you lost the money because you did not spend enough. So it's important to understand, buy the right gear, not too much, but not too low either. It depends on what you do. This is when I realized that many people don't understand the meaning of camera ranges. Many people think that entry level is bad, mid-range is acceptable, high-end is good, and professional is the best. And that's not the way it works at all. Each range is designed to solve different problems. A mid-range camera can be absolutely perfect for portrait, landscape, travel, family photography, street photography, and even for some professional actually use that kind of camera, entry-level or mid-level cameras, and they go great with that. And meanwhile, a professional camera may offer more speed, more battery life, more durability, more connectivity, more protection, more configuration option. But if you don't need any of these things, well, probably you spend too much money. You're not a better photographer. You just bought some features that will slip in your camera and you will never use. These make this feature really expensive. By the way, if you wanted to help me, don't forget I've got affiliate links in the description. Please use them. And if you wanted to buy Luminar Neo, you get a 10% discount with my code ERIC10. 10% discount on top of any offer they have, so still place your code and you save some more money. With ERIC20, you get 20% discount on K&F, where you will find all the accessories by K&F Concept and more brands. So use it. That helps you. That helps me. Fantastic. Thank you so much. Let's carry on. I think when you buy a camera, there's a sweet spot of the market. And I realized after testing many cameras, buying too many cameras myself, that normally the best balance between price, performance, features is never the top of the range. Never. Normally it's a second or third lower range. And this is where you probably will find cameras like the Nikon Z5 Mark II, Canon R6 Mark III, Fujifilm X-T5, Lumix S5 2X, Sony Alpha 7 V. They're not the top, they're not the bottom. Most of the time, their feature will be well over what you need. Very often, they offer many features that you can find on the top of the range. A few one are maybe not there, but most of the time you get more than what you actually need. But for some people who need to sleep at night and feel like, yes, I'm not falling short, yeah, I prefer to pay a bit more just in case. Yeah, you are playing the just in case sentence, but you're not ruining yourself. I don't say they're cheap cameras, okay? But still, it's not a $10,000 camera. It's still more affordable. So for people who are like this, they say, yeah, but even though I want to spend a bit more just in case, go for that range of camera. They're great. Yeah, the balance between performance, features, all this is really, really good. And you don't spend as much as top of the range. But most likely, most of these features, you will not need them anyway. But if you're starting as a photographer, you're starting as an amateur photographer, maybe later you will get professional, but right now you're starting, then there is one thing you cannot know. You cannot know it yourself, is how much passion will you put into photography, how much time you will spend with photography, and are you sure that in 6 months' time you will not be fed up with photography and stop practicing it? Because maybe right now you've got a smartphone and you feel it's great to take pictures and you decide to have a real camera. And maybe in 6 months' time you feel, wow, my phone was more practical, and this camera will be sitting on a shelf at your house or in a cupboard, a wardrobe, closet. And I think this is a pity. So as you don't know that yet, why don't you get an entry-level camera? See if you get the passion, if you love making photography. If in 6 months' time this camera still covers your needs, well, no point to change it. If you don't like photography anymore, well, you will not lose as much money if you resell it secondhand or if you leave it in the cupboard, okay? And if you feel the camera is stopping you for some things because the features fall a bit short, then you can resell it, don't lose that much money, and buy a higher level camera, a different range, okay? So I think doing 2 or 3 steps, building your life around photography, your hobby around photography, or your profession around photography makes a lot of sense. Don't spend too much money before you are sure, definitely sure, photography is your passion. Make it slowly, several steps, no problem. The exercise we should do before buying a camera: gear. It's important. Forget about gear. First, you forget about gear. You think about what you want to do. Video, photography, what type? Landscape, portrait, nature, sports, travel, video. What do you want to do? Yeah, don't tell me you can't want to do everything. Think a bit what you will do most, okay? Then, when you know about this, then analyze the requirements, technical requirements. What features do you need? Do you need extremely high frame rates? Do you need incredible advanced subject tracking? Do you need weather sealing? Do you need 8K video? Do you need RAW videos? And you will see that most of the time, these top features, you don't actually need them. So if you buy a camera that don't have them, you save a lot of money. Third, what equipment do you really need? Because many people, they get to the conclusion they need a really high-end camera. That's fine. They need thing to spend a lot of money. That's fine. But they didn't analyze the back office, which is your computer able to cope with it? Will you have enough budget for memory cards, SSDs or disk or whatever, good computer, good software, all this? Do you have money for that also? Because maybe your intention is higher than your possibilities. And there are many types of photos you can do and enjoy doing. So maybe think first if you can get all the ecosystem, the camera, and also what's after taking the picture. That's really important. So it's important that your ecosystem is well balanced. Camera, lenses, post-production. That's really important. So my conclusion is simple. Don't buy the camera for the photographer you think you will be one day. Buy the camera for the photographer you are today. Okay, that's important. You will have time to buy another camera. Don't worry, you will have time for that. Most photographers do not need a better camera. They need to know themselves better as a photographer. Because if you know yourself, you know what you want to do and you know what you need. And very often you spend less money. And you must remember one thing. The best camera is not the most expensive. The best camera is the one that solves your problem, not problems you don't have. Most of these high-end technology are for problems you do not have. Because in photography, just in case or more is better is really, really expensive. It's a lot of money. And this money, obviously, you can tell me, yeah, but that's my money. I spend it as I want. Yeah, you're absolutely right. You spend it as you want. But I don't say spend less money in photography, but probably optimize your money in photography. Because what you save on having a camera body or lenses that correspond more to what you want to do, first, leave you some extra money for maybe traveling, getting tuition, learning, maybe buy some extra lenses, but not necessarily a different body. Think about that. I don't say you have to spend less money. You can, obviously, if it's possible, but maybe you can enjoy photography better with this money you saved on the body. So I hope you like this video. I hope it helps you understanding how range work, how to pick the right camera for you, and how to optimize your money when you buy a camera. So thank you so much for watching the video. If you feel it may interest other people, please share it on social networks. If you have not done it yet, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, the small button down here and the small bell. If you click on the bell, you will get notified when I upload a new video. My website, ericgibaud.com. If you have any question, can leave a comment below. Don't forget, I've got affiliate links in the description. Please use them. And if you wanted to buy Luminar Neo, you get a 10% discount with my code ERIC10. 10% on top of any offer they have, so still place the code and you save some more money. And with ERIC20 you get a 20% discount on K&F, where you will find all the accessories by K&F Concept and more brands. So use it. That helps you, that helps me. Fantastic. Thank you so much. Also leave you my PayPal account in case you wanted to make a donation. Thank you very much. Please take care of yourself and see you soon. Bye.